That is, the mainstream fiction is about the world as it is or it was, and it ignores the fact that it's changing, and it seems to me the basic truth, reality about our world today is that it's changing very rapidly, primarily because of technology, technological change, and it seems to me that this is the first fact of reality, and accepting this change makes science fiction realistic in a way that mainstream fiction is not.
What it is that we're beginning to realize and recognize ourselves as part, literally, of the universe, not just of ourselves and number one, but our responsibility to the entire universe. We throw a cigarette butt down on the grass, or we throw our picnic lunch in the lake. That's not just us getting rid of our garbage so we don't have to be burdened with it. Man, we are screwing up the ecology, and that's all the ecology. That's the whole planet, and that means that we're thinking in larger terms.
There has always been a moralistic flavor in the attitudes of the hardcore fans from the 20s on. In Gernsback's time, it took the form of a belief that science fiction existed to teach people science and draw them into scientific careers. And in a number of cases, this actually happened. To this day, the research institutions in this country are peppered with devoted science fiction readers, people who were drawn there by science fiction.
To those of us who remember the Golden Age, we are now living in a science fictional world, and one which Campbell's science fiction did significantly succeed in creating. In other words, no one is going to say that science fiction readers brought a man to the moon all by themselves, but we can say that the kind of science fiction that was published in 1940 helped prepare the public for the acceptance of programs to take a man to the moon. Many of the people involved in it undoubtedly did read science fiction. Many of the people involved in it were influenced one way or another by science fiction, even if they hadn't read it. And so we, in a real sense, we science fiction writers and readers, helped create the present world.
What science fiction writers individually and science fiction as a kind of normative forecasting of the future in general offers us then is not predictions about the future so much as a sort of mail-order catalog of possible alternate futures. And from this we can compile a shopping list of the sorts of futures we would like to see and then proceed to bring them about.
It seems to me that the young reader, the new reader, the typical reader is excited about science fiction as revealing something that could happen. It's a sort of window into tomorrow. It has this sense of possible achievement as distinct from fantasy that is about what couldn't happen. And people are excited with the idea that science and reason can make a better society, a new world, that it can give us sorts of experience that we can't have in the world today. I was tremendously excited about science fiction as a real way of looking ahead, of exploring the possible future, of envisioning what might happen. And I was also excited about it in a way that I can't easily define as something to be created. That is, this was something I was deeply concerned about, something I could do. It was the form, the possibilities, the genre, the medium were a challenge. It was just an avenue for creation.
What Orwell and Huxley were up to was the device of examining trends in contemporary society, isolating a few of them, playing them through to their logical ultimate conclusion, and through this reductio ad absurdum, showing their disastrous potentials.
What I'm trying to do in my work is to take the burning issues of our times, he said pompously, and entertainmentize them, make them interesting to read, yet by the same token, when you get done with them, your gut will somehow have been affected. If any fiction can offer us answers, can move us to action, it may well be speculative fiction. Maybe not in the same way that Uncle Tom's Cabin, helped move the Civil War, or Frank Norris's books moved to social reform in the 30s, but perhaps in helping this revolution of thought, of literally opening people's minds